Awesome. Okay. I think that voice is so weird. Okay. So I kind of planned to do like fancy slides and everything. But then really just as I've like sat on this information for a bit and just been thinking about it, really wanted it to be more informal, like a real conversation kind of from the heart. And partially wanting to share this, just it's something that Jake has talked about in a couple of different trainings I've been on. He talked about it up at the cabin. And I just feel a responsibility, I guess, as one of the team leads to really bring this kind of topic to y'all as soon as possible. Like, I don't care if you joined yesterday. This is information to learn and hear now and probably hear over and over again, because it just is something that needs to be done in our industry. And I hope that y'all will take it and run with it with your teams as well. Hold them accountable, be willing to, kind of have those hard conversations, because what we're really doing here at Q is very different. And it takes some people a long time to wrap their brains around that. And that starts with these conversations, right? So I don't think I'm going to get through every single point tonight. We might make this like a series or something that we do every so often and just kind of bring out different points to it to kind of talk about and hash out and whatnot. So, but basically the concept is, let's talk about MLM, multi-level marketing or network marketing or direct sales, however you want to call it, versus owning a business, and how we are wanting to be more business owners than kind of running in that MLM circle. There's nothing wrong with MLM. I love this business model. It has absolutely been huge for our family. I have so much belief in it. But I have seen, even in myself, having been in this industry for 5 years prior to coming to Q Sciences, I've even seen my own like warped belief system when it came to how this business runs, or how it can be run and typically is done. And a lot of that, I have to say, y'all, comes from the top down. Like, comes from company leaders and how they structure their compensation plans, how they structure their payouts, how they train the field, how they treat the field, how they, run their promos, all those things. It all goes together, and you may not know that. If you're new to this world, you may not understand all of that, but it's almost like, there is someone behind that curtain pulling all the strings that impact your business. And the transparency that Q is trying to continue to do is so refreshing. It's almost jarring. If you've been in this industry, you're kind of just like, whoa, he just, Jake will get on stage and say things that you're like, I'm sorry, you said that in front of everybody? Like, I feel like this was like a private conversation, but like, he's up in front of like all convention telling everybody how it is. And at my very first convention, which was, January 2020, that was honestly the biggest takeaway for me. Is I have two things. One, I walked in there and there were 700 people, and I was like, I think I'm in the wrong room. I came from a company, we had tens of thousands of people that would go to conventions, and to have 700 people there, I was like, what? And the other thing was just the honesty that was shown by the speakers and the corporate staff. And so that's kind of where this heart came from, of like, I want to take what I've heard a couple times now in different settings and bring it to y'all as a team. And some of this stuff might feel over your head, like, I don't really get it. And that's okay. You don't have to. It's good to hear the groundwork now. And when you're at those different stages in your business, and you're rehearing this stuff again, it'll hit you differently at different points. I'm going to work off of my notes that I took so that I can make sure I'm accurately saying what Jake said. But for those of y'all that don't know or might be newer to our company, Jake is our president and now co-owner. So we are privately owned, y'all. Mark and Jake own our company outright. There's nobody else has any vested interest in what happens here. So literally everything that goes down is because of Jake and Mark. And he has spent decades in this industry, made multi-millions of dollars, and has learned a lot of lessons. So that's kind of where this comes from. And that was his big heart in even partnering with Q, was to kind of do something completely different than had been seen before. And so we're going to kind of go over some of those things tonight. But the first one Oh, also, if you feel like when we talk about some of this stuff, you're like checking yourself, like, whoa, maybe I did feel that way. Or maybe, wait a second, I don't think that, like, it's just good to reflect on where do those emotions come from? Like, what is that triggering in you? Why do you feel that way? Feel free to talk to me about it. If you want more clarification, we definitely can. But I think I made a post about it earlier, but just being honest and truthful with where you're at in your heart and your mindset and your business is really important. And it's what's going to keep you moving forward for the long haul. So tonight, the first one I want to talk about is MLM mindset is to pay money and to get money back seemingly forever, right? You want to pay once, you want to pay the joining fee and pay $150, join, and then make money, right? How many times have you had people join your team, pay their joining fee, and then they ghost you, they don't do anything, they don't show up, they don't think it's for them, they expected that they were going to be making XYZ amount of money in a certain time frame, all that stuff. This business is not guaranteed. And if you are telling people it is, if you're guaranteeing them $500, $750, $1,000 in their first month, I'm kindly asking you to stop, because that is setting yourself up for a situation that's not only unfair to them, but unfair to your team and unfair to, anyone else that you're going to talk to. Nothing about this business is guaranteed. But what you do have on your side as a business owner is you have people that are going to show you how to grow a sustainable business, and that comes from funding your business. Funding means putting money into your business in the right areas. I'm not saying volume buys. I'm not saying making dumb decisions with your money. I'm saying wisely funding your business, okay? One great time to fund your business is in the summer. July and June are the two slowest months, some of the slowest months in the whole year for network marketers. So is December. So mark those down. Don't be shocked by it. Don't be like, what the heck's happening? The world's falling, the sky's falling. It's just pretty traditional that summer tends to be slower, June and July. Jake even says the only thing he likes about the month of July is that it's his birthday month. So truly, it's the hardest month to recruit. Then you add in, for us this year, you add on top of that COVID, restrictions being lifted, people being able to go out and about and do things, and just wanting to get back to normal life. All the things. You've had your kids home with you, maybe. You just want to get out and do things and be with your family members, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that there's less people captivated sitting at home wanting to know what you're doing, right? And so June and July is slow. December can be slow as well. Now, spring and late fall, so like think Black Friday, retail season, those are busy times traditionally for network marketers. So if you're thinking, how do I want to fund my business so that I'm not looking at my paycheck in July saying, what the heck happened to it? Then you would be smart and be setting aside money coming up for December, right? If you know maybe potentially December is going to be slower and it's Christmas and you want to be able to do all the things, be thinking about utilizing the paychecks you're receiving in the kind of crazy boom of fall and setting aside money so that you are okay. Same with summer. You can do that over spring, setting aside money so that you're prepared for July so that you're able to fund your business so that you are in a good place come the next season of growth. There's a whole different conversation about funding your business. I think that's a little bit for when you're further along in your business, but I don't think it's ever unwise to look at the income that you do bring in queue and make sure you're handling it correctly, right? I want you paying your taxes, putting aside money for taxes. I want you making sure you have enough samples to have on hand. I want you reaching down into your team. If you need to be buying extra convention tickets to be giving to team members that can't come, these are all funding your business opportunities that you can do at whatever level that you're coming in at, okay? Jake was talking about how there were sometimes months where literally his paycheck was gone. It wasn't coming in to something in his life. It was all going back out into his business or in ways to keep the longevity of his life, taking care of his taxes and all the things that he needed to. And so that would be kind of like, as we're getting back into the swing of things, convention's going to be psycho. All the things that are dropping, the promos that are coming, the compensation plan enhancements that are coming, you want to be prepped for that. And you want to be ready to utilize that income that you'll be having in for down the line as well. Also, knowing that convention's going to have those things, are you budgeting correctly for that? Do you want to be able to take advantage of the new products that are coming in and have them so that you can give them to people and utilize them to grow your business? Or are you going to be sitting there saying, man, I wish I would have, and now I can't take advantage of all the stuff that they've been doing? If you haven't clued in yet, or if you're brand new, Jake runs some type of promo, comp plan enhancement, change to the business. I don't know. How did I write it down? How he said it. New product, new flavor of a product, a bonus promo, comp plan enhancement, every single 45 to 50 days. The longest it's ever gone was 52 days. So you could literally plan your entire business around the cycles that he's creating, right? You don't have to sit there and be like, what? I didn't know this was going to happen. You could actually be prepped for it and ready to utilize that and run into it. So we obviously just did Olympic cash, right? Think about that. That was a promo. Well, y'all can start counting out days and times and being prepped and ready to take advantage. Naturally, it's going to fall around convention time. It's not an accident. It's all planned out that way. But the people that have really clued into this are like Brittany Hitch, right? And Brandon Stevens, Fran, obviously. So being able to understand that and utilize that for the growth of your business is huge. The other thing he talks about here is with conventions. So our next one's going to be in February. Okay, so just plan for that now. You're hearing me say it right now, so don't tell me I didn't tell you. But it's going to happen in February, and to plan to run with new groups of people 45 days out from convention and then 45 days after convention. That's also planning on funding your business, bringing those newest people to that place. And so looking at who has come into your business in the last maybe 30 to 60 days, and those are the people you're really focused on connecting and bringing to convention here in September. And then we'll do it again come, end of December, January. So I don't know if you've ever felt that way. You can share in the comments or not, but I totally get it. You see people that post all the time, people's incomes, what can happen here, the crazy stories, and you can almost create these unrealistic expectations for yourself and then end up making an emotional decision that impacts things long-term, right? Like quitting or not showing up because it doesn't feel great. You're not seeing the paycheck that you expected to see. And, but not really realizing that it's not just a pay once and you're done type business, right? I don't really know of any business that exists like that. And so you have to be willing to understand that. And then if you're wanting to fund your business correctly, be willing to go to your leader and say, here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to go. What would be a wise way to fund my business? Because we're happy to have those combos with you. We're happy to sit down and say, this is what I've done or I've seen done or what could really benefit you in your business for the future. So that was the first one. The other one that he talked about was how a lot of MLMers, they love to build their businesses off of product, and they love to build off the hype of a product, right? Oh, I don't know if you've seen, I'm not going to say any company names, so because it's recorded, y'all are all going to be like, she said. But how many companies do you see, oh, take this and in 30 days, you'll see this, or you'll see the before and afters, or you'll see the skincare that all of a sudden they have no more wrinkles and all the things. And it's this hype of the reaction that they're wanting people to join because of whatever product they have. That's what they talk about. It's this hype situation, and the companies have to continue to bring out new products with new hype and keep their people in that state constantly. Because if you're not hyping something, then what else is there for you to fall back on, right? Versus a business owner is going to build a business off of metrics. They're going to look at the numbers and they're going to say, this product sells the best for the longest. It gives me the most longevity for my business. So I'm going to focus here as the basis and the foundation of my business. Anything else that comes out, that's great. A couple extra customers here and there, fantastic. Bump your CV, that's great. But I'm going to focus on making sure people have our foundational products. This is why I said in our 90-day run chat last night, do you understand the numbers of the products that you're selling? The average rate, if you're not in that chat, the average rate of attrition, that means attrition is when people fall off, so customers stop ordering, is around 82 days for the entire industry as a whole. Okay, that's people ordering products, using them for so long, getting tired of it, not seeing results, whatever reason they fall off. Okay, it's around 82 days. So that would be close to 3 months, right? If you look at our core numbers, our core currently, our PCs are ordering for 22.4 months consecutively. That's 3 months versus 22.4 months. Which would you rather have in your business? Someone ordering for almost 2 years straight because they're obsessed with what it can do for them? Or someone that comes in and out, isn't in and out, and you have to always get new customers to kind of keep that CV number up, right? So if you were to know these numbers, would it then shift? What are you talking about all the time? Are you constantly talking about the sport because the energy, or, the experiential products, which there's nothing wrong with those. We have amazing products, but is that all you focus on is the hype product? Because you have this expectation that people have to have all these crazy reactions and experiences for them to stick around as a customer. And that's really not the case. Core impacts people on so many levels and in so many areas of their health, right? It's your gut health, it's your mental health, it's the missing nutrients that we need on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's the inflammation, it's the pain, it's the things that 99% of people are dealing with and maybe not knowing how to get to the root of. And while, we may think, sport gives energy, well, what if we could help people sleep better also because of their mental health? What if we could get to some other issues that they're dealing with and add that as an extra layer, just as something else that they can utilize in their life? So that's why he says, you'll see a lot of times, throughout the year, these new things come out because companies are trying to keep that hype drive up. And when you're only focused on products, you should know what type of product you're selling and what the margin is for you and what you're going to get in return traditionally by people ordering. So just wanted to put that part out there for y'all to understand as well when it comes to, the core is totally our flagship. Our actual number one selling product is the sleep spray by unit. It sells the most, but the core would be our number one selling combo products that's going to keep people around. So just kind of tuck that away as you think about, how do I present things on my social media? What am I sharing with people consistently? Am I on the core auto ship? Are your customers on core auto ship? If they started out on something else, maybe they joined. Sometimes we have PCs that join for challenges, like QFit challenges, and it's more specifically geared towards, weight loss or whatever it is. Are you going back and re-engaging them with the core? Are you sending samples of core? Are you, making sure that that's something you have on hand so that people can try that first and start that focus of their health journey? So just wanting to help y'all kind of elevate what you're sharing when it comes to social media. And you'll probably be more aware now as you see other social selling companies and how they do it, because that is the rat race that they're in. It's constant and they have to be doing that, and you don't have to. You can know exactly what you can offer that's going to get you the biggest longevity in your business. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, I highlighted it just a little bit, but for these last 10 minutes, but talking about the cycles of business. So, MLMers, they don't want to talk about that. They want to constantly talk about winning, constantly talk about the rank up that they're having, constantly, sharing about their income instead of, their team or anything like that. It's more focused on them or focused on the trip that they're winning. It's just, life has to be perfect on social media because they think that that's what's going to be enticing, because heaven forbid we ever talk about the reality of a real business, because that might just scare people away. And that's a scarcity mindset, right? Because we're just so darn terrified no one's going to join our business. And so we make it even worse and make them join us thinking it's going to be successful forever and ever and ever, amen. And then the second it gets a little bit hard, you become a counselor or a therapist and you're trying to motivate them all over again. And that's exhausting. And then they quit and then you're back to square one, right? And so Understanding that there are cycles in this business is something that I really want y'all to take hold of so that you can, when you do have team members come to you, you can say, oh yeah, like it's joy. Like I expected this. This is like how it was going to go the whole time. Like I wasn't worried about it. And it's important for you to know that there are going to be months that you lose rank. There will be. That's just part of this. It may happen in the beginning. It may happen in the middle. It may happen where you are right now. There's going to be months where you hit a new rank and then you fall back the next month. Does that completely jar you? Are you like shocked? Are you taking it all personally, blaming yourself, saying that you're the worst person, the worst leader, all this stuff? Or are you understanding how businesses work? He always uses the example of Apple, which I really like. Or really it could be any business. Talk about retail at Christmas time, right? And Black Friday. They would be so foolish to compare their sales from Black Friday and from Christmas to July. Would they not? It's not the same time. It's not the same season. People aren't spending their money the same. And it would be silly for them to sit there and say, oh my gosh, our business is completely failing because it doesn't look like it did in December. That's just not accurate. Same idea with Apple. When they come out with a new phone, don't you think that their sales are much higher because people are coming in, buying in, trading in, getting the new thing? And so it's like they constantly are putting out that new part of their business, but it would be really silly for them then to compare the next quarter because they didn't launch a new iPhone. So it's not apples to apples, and it's going to be the same thing here, right? Are you coming off of a promo? Did you hit a new rank because there were crazy promotions that were dropped by corporate and everybody was buying it all up from convention until you hit a new rank and then the next month you don't maintain it? Should that be shocking? Probably not, because we're not offering the same promos. We're not offering the same incentives for people to be engaging in their business the same way. Now, a little stipulation here, I will say, if you are starting to understand when the cycles happen, can you prep for those and maybe continue to ride that wave much longer in your business? Absolutely. But to sit there and think that you're a failure because the next month doesn't look exactly the same as the month before with crazy promos is only heartache for yourself that you don't need to have. Or we can go the other side and you can get really inflated and think, yeah, I'm a bronze. Yeah, I hit this rank. I did this. But you know that the numbers are coming in from convention, not because of true business growth, of recruitment, of retention, of training, of new rank ups, of helping people, move forward, right? And so just being sure that you're like keeping yourself in the middle on that is really, really important. I think the hardest thing for us sometimes is to expect the rank ups to happen every single month or every couple months. And this is another MLM versus business thing. If you think about, your typical career, a lot of y'all still work, and you think about where you're at and the income that you have there, right? If you wanted to take your income from wherever it is, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, and then want to be making $10,000 a month, do you think that would happen on a month-to-month basis? Would you just walk into your boss and ask for a $6,000 raise monthly? You could, but you wouldn't get it, And so why are you doing the same thing to yourself? I understand there's other people that happens for. There is the reality that it can happen. But if you're putting that pressure on yourself that rank up happens every single month or every couple months, then you're setting yourself up to feel defeated, right? Rank ups happen, but stability in your business is truly what you're wanting. And that is one thing I have to say that, there's a lot of girls on here that were at the lodge with us, but something that I took and felt very proud of from corporate's feedback for our team specifically was just how slow and steady we are. Like, we are a solid team. We are well built. We are well trained. We are consistent. We are not the Brittany Hitches necessarily, but we are known by them because they can look at our numbers and our growth and the work that we do and count on it. It's not up and down. It's not dipping like crazy all the time. It is something that comes from understanding how this business works. And so that made me really proud because that's what you're duplicating. You're taking what we're learning and you're duplicating that to your teams, and you're telling them these things and helping them grow businesses that are going to be here for the long haul. I remember thinking, Brandon was on stage one day and he was talking about how he had just gotten started in his business. And I was like, just got started. I was like, but you've been doing this for like 3 years, like at least at Q, you know, he'd already been here, like helping build it. And like for him, he had just scratched the surface. And I was like, man, like I have to reframe my mindset, because even I sometimes come in and I'm like, okay, like I've been here almost 2 years. Like, gosh, I should be like getting closer to Emerald or whatever it is, you know, but it's like, that's crazy. Like I have a 10-year game plan. This is me investing in my family now so that we can have opportunities to invest in other areas of life that we are interested in and make smart investments for our kiddos and cover their college, because that's something we personally want to do. You know, like little things that we have goals on that is going to take more than just the 2 years, right? And sometimes I think on an even smaller scale, people come in. I've actually had someone say to me, I'm going to give it 6 months. And I remember being like, what happens in 6 months? Like, what's happening? Are you moving? Are you going away? Like what, you know, but it was more of a joke, right? But that was the mentality of like, well, I'll just see what this does for me in 6 months, which is very passive. I'm going to see what this can bring to me versus what can I do with this in 6 months? Where can I go with this? How can I pursue this? What can I do with this opportunity in 6 months? And so shifting that frame, that mindset of like, hey, this sounds like a great opportunity, I'll just see what happens, to, hey, this is an opportunity I'm not going to let pass me by. This timing will never be here again. We will never have hemp 2.0 like Jake keeps talking about. This is not time for me to sit on my ass, you know, because my team's not doing whatever, it's summer or whatever that looks like for you. It's time for you to get into gear because you're going to take advantage of it. And so I'm going to end with that, with our last 3 minutes, is just out of those 3 points, where have you maybe fallen in the last 3 to 6 months? Did you expect instant return on your $150, $200 investment? Do you struggle keeping an auto ship on because it's a financial commitment? Do you struggle telling people to have an auto ship because you're worried they're not going to sign up? Do you come in, are you already 1 foot out the door because it's been 6 months and you're not crown diamond yet? Do you focus solely on products for hype? Are you scared to talk about the business? Do you know how to fund your business and be prepared for when December comes? Those are all things I want you to take back and just think on over this month of August. It's already going to be here, which is crazy, and really be ready to implement some of those shifts in your mindset and your heart and how you're bringing people into your business, so that you can realistically look at yourself as a leader and where you can grow, and then how you can duplicate that down, because every single thing duplicates, y'all, positive and negative. If you're in a negative headspace, people will feel that, I promise. If you're in a positive headspace, or if you're in a realistic one, willing to kind of call people out and have that conversation, they will feel that as well. And I have never felt more cared for probably than I have this past 3 months that I've been working with Jake and talking with him directly, because hearing his feedback on things and hearing, you know, his ideas on where our company is going, it just shows like this is the next level. And you have to be willing to stop doing the gamey, salesy, pitchy, you know, just join, you're going to make a ton of money, you know, type thing. Because that's not how this goes down. We can't guarantee that to people, but what we can guarantee is that we will help them every single step of the way, and that this is the prime opportunity to like partner with the growth that we're having. So I know that went by really fast. It's already been 30 minutes, but we'll keep doing this little series on different areas of MLM versus business, how you can truly run your business like a business owner, areas that you can grow in. If you want to chat with me about any of the things we talked about tonight, please feel free. My inbox is always open. But I'm really proud of what we're creating here and who we are as a team, and being able to see y'all in convention in September, because it's going to be amazing. So I love y'all so much, and I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.